the Texas House unanimously. The will of the people told you to kick the federal perverts out of Texas and their seizure of the entire infrastructure. You, thanks to Kurt Watson, the Slimebag, have engaged in servile treason. Treason! 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 Why all the noise? Unanimously, this state, the people's representatives in the House, voted to kick the TSA out, who's violating every law under the sun, sticking their hands down people's pants, groping the children of members of the U.S. Capitol. Now hold on. And what happened? Kurt Watson and some of the federal pimps came in here and said they'll have a federal embargo, like we're Libya, on our aircraft. Good! Pull the scallywag New World Order trash out. The federal government has stolen $27 trillion. This country's going down into a third world nation. And there are other states fighting. And if these senators don't do their job, if they cower, we'll replace every one of them. That's quite a mandate. Unanimous House vote. Yes. And liberty is only rising. We have only begun to fight. And we will fight everywhere. And we will never surrender. We are not the property of the criminal offshore banks that have looted this country. That every peace officer, every state police officer is trained. I have squad car video where they pull a woman over who has a Constitution in her car and they take her to jail for it in my film Road to Tyranny. They brainwash these cops over and over and over again that anything good is evil. Now, what does that tell you about the globalists? Power trip. The globalists are usurpers. America has been conquered fraudulently through financial takeovers and economic conquest. We must recognize what has happened and point out that this criminal government will follow the will of the people and the Constitution. I want to be clear. I don't have demonstrations and rallies. I do my radio show. But when we tried to call down here today, they put their phones off the hook or put them to message. So I said, we got to go down there and we got to let these people know we don't appreciate what they're doing. Violating the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, letting a bunch of minimum wage people that aren't even bonded peace officers under the state constitution grope little girls and little boys. Yeah, I told folks 9 years ago this was coming because it was all in federal documents. This is about getting you ready for forced inoculations. That's why they have federal grants where they pay the cops to take blood without warrants. It's getting the police ready as forced inoculators. They tried in 2002 with the Model State Health Emergency Powers Act, but the police wouldn't do it. So instead, they're slowly training them as an army of pure evil.
What's your name?
Just like in Alex Jones, just like in North Korea or Mexico, we know the police are corrupt. And why do I talk about the police? Because in Germany and Soviet Russia and in Rome and everywhere else, in North Korea, tyranny comes to the door in a uniform. Liberty can also come in a uniform in the case of Romania and Ceausescu and the founding of our country in 1776. We are identifying the enemy. It's a corporate, covert takeover. And we're going to take this country back state by state. And then we, via fair trials and due process, are going to prosecute every one of these infiltrators. We are going to rout these criminals out. were so hot-blooded, we were in there going after the house. They need to know we're mad. These are the slime bags. Now let's let them chant slowly. Treason, treason, treason. Treason! 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 One final thing. This was spontaneous. Yes. Yeah. In the special session or before then. Next time we come back, we're going to come with 50,000. Yeah. They all think as parasites that, oh, let the slaves blow off their steam. They'll go back. They'll go back to the plantation. But here's the bottom line. Nobody's putting up with them fondling little girls and boys. We all know it's over. This is only the beginning. This rally right now is on the Drudge Report, the biggest website in the world. It was my website that brought the attention of Miss America having the TSA put their hands in her body. I was reaching 5 million people 2 years ago a week. I'm reaching 7-8 million a day. What does that tell you about the power and the spirit of liberty? Listen, I'm nobody but a red-blooded Texan that had the slave. And there's nothing that the spirit of 1776 can't do. We stand with George Washington and the Republic. These people in this Senate are sold out. You notice when the bailout money came out, almost all of it was foreign banks. They stand with foreign corrupt banks. Every one of them has signed on with King George III. Every one of them is an enemy of the Republic of Texas and the Republic of the United States. And this is an indomitable, unstoppable info war. Our ancestors would be ashamed of what we've become. Let's make them proud. Resistance is victory. 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 Over tyranny.
Legalize peace.
Now, everybody split up. Go to the senators' offices and tell their little boyfriends. Most of them will be boyfriends. Not against the sexual preference, but they just like it. Most of go tell their little boyfriends at the front desk. Not against their sexual preference. If they're gay, they should admit it to them. That's a cult. They don't let you in most of the time if you like that. And something like that. The Fed said, hey, we know about you and your boyfriends. So you go in and tell them all, you tell their boyfriends, listen, we know what you're doing. The Republic's rising. We know you're blackmailed. God bless you all.
Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.